A lot of beaches can look beautiful and pristine most of the time, but when you get a storm, you start to realize how much garbage there is at sea. This debris that we see is a symptom of the immense amount of material that we use and throw away. Now, it may not be intentionally thrown out. This could be wind that picks it up from garbage landfills. It could be overstuffed garbage bins on a coastline. And whatever it is, it ends up often in the ocean and can float for miles from its source. All it takes is one storm out in the ocean, whether it's the Pacific or Atlantic, to push that debris onto the shoreline. And here, when you see the high strand line, that's where it accumulates.
We have debris at macro and micro scales. Macro scale objects can be anything larger than about half a centimeter. So this can include pieces of wood, plastic, cigarette butts, netting, and just about anything that floats. Plastic bags are almost always seen washed up, and they not only drift near the surface, but they can be found at depth as well. If we look at the statistics, there is a wide distribution of waste, but most of it tends to be plastic, and plastic is now found in every ocean on Earth. Unfortunately, at least 100,000 marine animals die from getting entangled in plastic every year. Eventually, much of the macroplastic material breaks into fragments that are less than half a centimeter. At a micro scale, debris tends to be either fragments, fibers, or beads. Other categories are sometimes named, but these are the most basic types. As these fragments get smaller and smaller, they eventually work their way into the food chain and become a health hazard to marine life as well as humans. There could be anywhere from 80 to 200 trillion pieces of plastic waste estimated to be in our oceans, and only about 15% might wash up on our beaches. When you really zoom into some of this waste, you'll see these three basic types. The small spheres are often nurdles, hard plastic spheres used by the plastics industry that feed into molding machines to make new plastic shapes. Other spheres are soft and make up the styrofoam and packaging materials used by so many industries. It's easy to see why fish confuse these spheres with eggs or other food types, particularly if these spheres also have a built-in fragrance. You'll see fragments of many different shapes, sizes, and colors. These pieces keep breaking apart and get smaller and smaller with time. Fibers from broken fishing lines and nets are also common and a source of entanglement for many marine animals at many scales. Rafting allows organisms to hitch a ride on debris. Quite often, the plastics develop a microfilm that allows the organism to attach itself better to the debris. This leads to biofouling, something that sailors are well familiar with on the hull of their boats. Unfortunately, rafting and biofouling is a transport mechanism that invasive species can use to move into new geographic regions. There are a few things that have to be done to minimize this kind of coastal pollution. Beach cleanups and ocean-going vessels that gather garbage from the ocean is the first part of the solution. But more importantly, we have to eliminate waste getting into the ocean in the first place. This will require either materials to be biodegradable or to improve the land-based disposal of waste and eliminate the use of single-use plastics.